son brought me back from Canada.
Fruit Loops?
I think it was Fruit Loops, actually.
They look kind of plain.
What?
They don't have that bright pop to them
Yeah.
that cancer gives you.
You're absolutely all right. I mean, so I think this is, it almost gets back to the need to revitalize American democracy and say to large corporations, you know what, you can't poison our children. I don't think that's a terribly radical concept. You can make money, fine, make money, but don't poison our children. Say to large corporations, technology is coming, that's good, but you're not going to use it just to throw workers out on the street.
But let's go to that, too, because we kind of glossed over that. We never got back to it. So automation comes, and one of the things that Andrew Yang warned us about a long time ago, and back then I kind of saw it in the distance. I was like, yeah, he's got a real good point about universal basic income. But the speed in which it's happening, I didn't anticipate. And when we live in Austin, and when you go around Austin, you see these Waymos everywhere. So
all right, I'm gonna plead ignorance. Tell me what a Waymo is.
Waymo is a driverless automobile.
Okay.
So you use an app. You call a Waymo.
I know.
A lot of people like it because you don't get a shifty Uber drivers trying to sell you fentanyl or whatever. I'm not saying that they do that. Uber, don't sue me. But they're very good. They don't get in accidents. They follow the speed limit. They're good about merging. They're good about pedestrians. They have cameras all around them spinning.
I know, I've seen them. Yeah.
They're very effective.
Yeah.
And what was really fascinating was during these ICE riots, they were lighting those things on fire. And I was like, I disagree with that, but I also think it's directionally correct. I mean, that's your enemy. Your enemy is automation, the enemy of the human being, a human that lives in this functional society and everybody has a task and get paid for the task. Automation is going to take all that away. So if you do say this, okay, we're going to lower your work week, what if there's no job left for the human being to do? If the entire assembly line, we talked about this about China and some of their coal factories. There was this video that I watched of this coal factory in China, which is entirely automated every step of the way. The trucks.
No human beings at all?
No human beings at all. I mean, there's probably a few overseers that make sure that all the systems are functioning correctly. So you have software engineers and, people that repair people. But the trucks even park themselves next to the charging station and recharge.
Wow.
And then they're moving 24 hours a day, unloading, documenting where everything is. It's all in computer databases. It's wild to watch because there's no people. It's all just 24 hours a day, machines. What do you do when there's no need for these people? And what happens, even with universal basic income, what we're talking about, I support it. I'm a big supporter of social safety nets. Look, when I was a kid, my family was on welfare. And we were on food stamps too. Like, if you don't have that, people go hungry. Like, again, if we're going to support the community, we want people to be able to survive and be able to work their way out of that. My family did work their way out of that. So it was cool for me as a child to see my parents struggling, but then succeed and get out of it. What worries me is that if all the jobs are gone and everything gets automated, even if people have universal basic income, they don't have meaning.
Good. All right, you're touching on really deep issues.
Right. This is the big one because a lot of people, you
Work
want to get
is
your car fixed, you go to KC. He's the best. He knows how to fix your car. KC,
and work gives, as you've just said,
Yeah.
the word purpose is an enormously
It's
important.
huge.
I don't care if you sweep the streets. People have purpose. They want to do their job well. Work is an important part of our lives.
Right.
Is it right?
Yes.
At the end of the day,
It's
no
your
one.
identity a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah.
And you want to be a productive member of society.
Right.
I'm contributing.
Right.
All right. So you asked the right question, and I think we can just bat around. I don't have any quick answers here, but I think the good news, you talk about this coal mining thing, and I'm not a great fan of coal, but that it's automation. People do not have to do dirty work, dangerous work. Is that good? Yeah, I guess that's good. But always we have to be thinking how it benefits not just the bottom line of a corporation, but the happiness and well-being of human beings. So if if what you're saying is that in years to come, a significant part of work is going to be done by machinery or
Yes.
by computers, whatever.
I think that's inevitable.
Okay. Then we have to rethink our own purpose in life. All right? And it's not sitting around watching TV 24 hours a day. So I think you've raised I would say the simple answer, and then you got to go a lot further than that, is to say that under those circumstances of that kind of technology, everybody has at least a decent standard of living. All right? That people don't have to worry about, survival. They don't have to worry about food. They don't have to worry about
profitability of this corporation, provide a fund that's a universal basic income fund. If you're going to replace all these people with robots and you're going to be even more profitable, share some of that profit, then you'll be more profitable than if these people just stayed working doing nothing, right?
Well, I mean, whether you will be or not be, I think
Once the machines are running everything, they're going to be running 24 hours a day, and you're not going to have to pay the machines. It's going to be more profitable.
Right, of course it will be. And we want to, right now, where is it? I think, don't quote me on this, maybe in Norway, they have a huge wealth fund which came from oil. They had publicly owned oil companies. They made a fortune, and they have like $1 trillion in their wealth fund for a small country. So, and they have free health care, free college education,
Right.
affordable housing, all that stuff.